by myself. Good rising, family. Good rising. Black Feniks checking in, the owner of HogOn Welding and the founder of HogOn University. This rising just wanted to talk about an old song. I used to hear my aunt sing that song when I was young. I used to really like the way it used to go. And I love the message in the song, but I couldn't say I fully understood it, when I was young. You know what I mean? This rising, I was up thinking about it. I was thinking about me losing my aunt the other day and how she has passed on, and I was thinking about how my other aunt who normally sings, she normally sings at funerals, she sing at different events, and she's the baby sister. And she told me when we was talking, she was like, "Lil Joe, I don't have a song in me," and I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I understand, TT, my aunt lost all her sisters. All of her sisters is gone, and she's the last, and she got, her little brother left. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I can't even imagine what she felt, you know what I mean? But then it made me think, I told her, I said, TT, it's okay for you to sit one out. You don't have to be strong all the time. Sometimes it's okay for, for us to actually weep over a situation and really weep over it and really, grieve and then let it go. Sometimes, we got to be strong so much that we just take it and just keep going. And then eventually something will happen or somebody will come off wrong and you end up snapping or something. And all of that pain and all that stuff you've been putting off then kind of caught up with you. And now you're responding differently in a situation that probably wasn't that extreme, but now it is that extreme. You know what I mean? And it made me think about that song, this rising, how she used to sing, I go if I have to go by myself, and it just made me think of everything that I have accomplished up to this point where I made my mind up and say, you know what, regardless of what someone said, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna make something happen. And if I have to do it by myself, then so be it. And it is what it is because, I realize when we are born, God give us all a mission. We all got different purposes. And if you are chosen, you're going to have people in your life that will go against you because they want you to be a certain way for them. But you are chosen to do a different path. And sometimes that can cause a lot of conflict inside of you, and man or female, trying to love and not let go and trying to compromise your purpose so that way you can help someone feel comfortable. And you just have to realize that certain situations you might be alone in it, and it's going to be okay. You're going to have to walk alone. You're going to have to pray alone, figure certain things out alone. You're going to have to, go even when someone else said, even like I thought of Job too, he got in a situation where things was going so left field for him where his wife said, you know what, maybe you should just curse God and die. That's what she told him. You know what he said? You foolish woman. God give and God take away. I can't cry because it started raining when for 30 days, so to speak, it's been shining every day, and I get one day of rain, I'm gonna throw a fit. That's how life is sometimes, fam. And I remember, salute, blessings, salute. I remember, when I went to prison, fam, I was thinking about the first time I really felt betrayal, when I went to prison at, 15, 16 years old, when I finally made it down there. I remember, the lady I was with who, caught some charges with me, I took the charges so that way, she wouldn't have to go to prison because I was going anyway. Now, she was on some charges with me and she could have did time and she didn't tell, fam. She was like, nah, you go, I'm going. She wouldn't go against me. The police tried to get her to testify against me several times, but she wouldn't do it. So, I just felt like I'm going anyway, so they was gonna run all the charges concurrent. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna take it. But she had to get some, so she ended up getting like probation because I took all the charges, you know. And fam, I remember just asking her, you know, when we was talking about this whole situation, I just said, hey, you know, I know you're gonna do your thing. You know, I'm young, but I'm realistic. Say, I gotta be in here 10 years. I'm not asking you to be around, you know, in a relationship with me for 10 years. But I'm asking for you to just, you know, um, be my friend, you know, look out for me. You know, I'm gonna need certain things financially here and there. Just make sure I'm straight where it ain't gonna be as big of a burden on my mom. Because me and her was getting money together. So, you know, I figured that, you know, we're gonna be all right. And fam, I can say this, that, you know, um, I thought things were gonna be one way and they went another way. And I can truly say that that was the first time I felt betrayal. I don't think it was because, you know, love didn't have nothing to do with it. I loved her, but it was more like, man, you know, I made a big sacrifice, you know what I mean, that I didn't have to make. You know, I remember even my mom saying, boy, let that girl get that part and you get this part, and them folks gonna give you more time. Say she did this, let her take this part. And I'm like, nah, you know, I'm already going down. My other homeboy that I was messing with, he was trying to, he'd already said he was going, you know, he was turning state against me. And he older than me. I'm gonna tell you some funny stuff, fam. The man tried to flip on me. He 21, you know, he was grown at the time. And the judge pretty much told him, how you gonna say that this teenager influenced you to do something and you grown? So the judge ended up giving him time. So he was trying to flip it on me, and he ended up getting time going to prison. And prison wasn't nice to him down there. I'm gonna just say that. And but I remember him selling me out, fam. You know what I mean? So, you know, feeling betrayal, you know, having to be by myself going through things, fam, I felt it at an early age. You know what I mean? And it really made me, you know, at that time I would say it made me bitter because, you know, I didn't understand getting better. I was just angry. You know what I mean? Like, damn, you know, I go through this and this person, uh, you know, play me to the left, so to speak. And then, you know, the only real person that kept it like 1,000, like all the way through it, you know, through the whole thing was my mom and my grandfather. But my grandfather ended up dying, you know, halfway through my bid. You know what I mean? He died in '01 and I got out in '06. So, you know, I never got a chance to see him, you know, once I got out. But my dad, I can't say my dad was you know, he was coming in and out, you know, helping me. But he was there, though. I can say that he was with my mom at the end the whole time. So, you know, um, but I felt betrayal, though. And I felt like, you know what, I'm going to have to do this by myself, you know, this time, you know, regardless of what the situation is, I'm going to have to do it. And I did it, fam. And I remember, you know, my mom, you know, asking me on visitation, man. I can remember this like it was yesterday. She said, so what you gonna do, you know, once you get out, you know? And I'm like, I'm gonna get a GED, you know, I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna do that. I knew I had to do that, but I wasn't thinking, you know, deep at that time at all. I like, man, I'm gonna get my GED. And then she was like, well, what about welding? And I was like, what about welding? I ain't never really heard nothing. She was like, well, I've been watching TV. And they make all this money. You know, they can do this and they travel, they do this. You should think about doing that. Because I know when you get out, you ain't gonna want to get no regular job because you're used to making money. So I know that ain't gonna work. So I figured you should try this out, and this might be it. My mama put this on me, fam. And look at me today. You know, she gave me this game. You know, at that time I was about 17. Good rising, sis. I was about 17, you know, and here I am, 42 years old, you know, welding, mobile welding, teaching welding, fabricating, you know, learning all aspects of it, all from a seed that my mom planted. But I had to go by myself, fam. You know what I mean? And me learning what I learned, I've always been on jobs where I was by myself. Like, fam, I have always been on jobs in the South in Arkansas where I was the only black person who was doing what I was doing. That wasn't sweeping the floor, that wasn't picking up trash, that wasn't cleaning nothing, that wasn't, you know, that wasn't no mechanic. I was a welder, fabricator, installer. And they used to always look at me crazy. I always had problems. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't tell you. It seemed like it's always been one white guy on pretty much every job that I've been on that caused some trouble, and then we good. But it's always one that seemed like I have to have some words with, or pull the coattail because they ain't used to seeing me. And I even remember some of them telling me, I remember this one guy telling me, he said, boy, you rare. Told me I was rare, family, you know what I mean? I never forget that. I said, yeah, I bet I am rare, you know what I mean? I was out doing some iron working welding at the time. And so, you know, I think about going by myself up to this point all the time, even now, out on the highway traveling, willing to do whatever it takes to, to open up another door. And I always think to myself, crumbs the bricks, bro, for real, King, like salute, like, I always, always was willing to do whatever it took, fam. Like my mom, I remember her sitting down, telling me one time, we was living, in this little shotgun house, family, and my mom said, she said, son, sometimes, I have to do things I don't want to do, but I got to make sure you and your sister good, though. And, being young, I ain't really fully understanding, but my mama used to tell me things that she used to tell me things that she probably shouldn't have said. You know how parents, she probably shared a little bit more information than needed, but, I was her firstborn, so, she talked to me. She was like, this guy over here, I talked to him, but, he helped me pay, help me take care of this and this, and I was like, I didn't fully understand. I just kind of looked at her and she was like, when you get grown one day, you'll get it. You'll get it, when you love your family, you never say what you won't do. You know what I mean? We tend to say, oh man, I'd never do this. You never know what you would do if you're in a situation where you really love your family. And then, I was just taught not to have no limitations. I don't want to go left field and think negative, but I'm not going to sit down and just watch things go left field if I can get off my butt and make something happen. So, no matter what the situation is, I'm going to try to make something happen using my hands, minds, hustles, whatever I can do. But I've always been in a situation, fam, where, I catch myself being by myself, having to go that extra mile. And I think we go through that sometimes where, especially once you are conscious and you're chosen, you're going to see yourself alone. You know what I mean? And you're going to remember times when you had crowds around you. You know what I mean? And then you started growing, and it's almost like you started, coming out this cocoon, and you couldn't be around certain people anymore because you have went somewhere else now. Your mind is on a whole different platform. So it's hard to even hold certain conversations because I'm not there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to be there. And then I get stuck. Sometimes, fam, just thinking like, why do things have to be so hard? Like, why do all the time, it have to feel like you got to go alone? You know what I mean? It's like, man, why it couldn't be? But then, you get to thinking, if it was meant for everybody, everybody would be doing it. So that's why I understand, now in the scriptures where it say, narrow is the way to life and broad is the way to destruction. Because it's only going to be a few of us, fam, that's really going to be about what we say we're about. It's only going to be, you're only going to have a few good friends that's going to really be a friend. That's going to, tell you when you're wrong, love you when you're wrong, and love you when you're right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, the truth of that situation is, I heard this deal on TikTok. He said you was born alone and you're going to die alone, fam. So we had to not get to the point where we don't want, where you say, I don't want to be around people, so to speak, but you're going to have to get to the point where you say, what, if I'm going to do this with my life, then I'm going to do this with my life. If I'm going to go over here, then I'm going to have to go over here. Sometimes we want certain people to be involved. Like, yeah, man, I want you to be involved. Man, I want this team. But sometimes even going over there, trying to get everybody, to believe in you and to ride with you, you wasting energy when you can just go over here and do it. You know, sometimes we just have to build, fam. You know, just like Noah did. You know, when God gave him a word, he just built. Sometimes, you know, we want to go get everybody and tell them about this great word and tell them about what God is about to do and tell them about our vision. And then when we do that, we don't get the feedback or we don't get, you know, what we felt we should have got. Then now we discouraged and don't want to continue the mission when the mission still got to be continued. So, you know, sometimes, fam, you know, we have to be willing to go by ourselves. We have to be willing to go that extra mile for ourselves, you know. We are our worst enemies, you know what I mean? Like, I think about it all the time, like through the traumas and dramas I experienced in prison. I'm literally now I'm still breaking chains, family. You know what I mean? Like I'm breaking stuff that, you know, I had to use in there to survive. Certain mechanisms in my mind that I had to think, you know, to survive in there that out here, you know, I don't need certain things. So it's like you picking up a different set of tools. Certain things I drop, but I can be realistic and say certain things I kept. You know what I mean? And sometimes you'll keep certain things and you don't even realize you're doing certain things. And then later you sit back like, damn, I am doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you have to be realistic with yourself, fam. And I think that, you know, that's that old saying, you know, they say knowing is half the battle. Family, knowing is half the battle for real, because once you really know better, you can actually start doing something. But if you think what you're doing is right, if you think that everything is copacetic, so to speak, then you're not going to change. You're not going to develop in it because you think you're doing what's right, you know? So, you know, now, you know, like I say, man, I'm 42 years old now, family. You know, I got 3 kids, 2 grandbabies. I got a grandbaby, just had a birthday. My oldest grandson about to have a birthday in August. And my oldest daughter just turned 25. My youngest son just turned 11. My middle daughter be 16 in December. And fam, like, you see how spreading my kids out is because I had my first one when I was right before I went to prison. And then, you know, I had my last 2 when I got out, but it was, you know, some time between them. And I'm just, you know, I'm thankful that I brought them into this world. But then now I really think about what my guy said. Tupac had a song and Smile. And I remember when I first heard that record, I was in Burner Unit Prison in Grady, Arkansas. I never forget. I had my little headphones on and I was staring out the window, out the bars. You know, it was raining and I was just looking out there, just thinking about the time I had to do. Got that time card. And I was like, wow, you know, I was trying to figure out in my mind, like, how I'm going to do this. And I was listening to this song. And Tupac said, man, he said, I'm scared to drop a seed, hoping I don't curse my babies. And I remember after my last son, you know, I was like, man, I'm done. I don't want to have no more kids. I want to be able to learn how to nurture what I got and help my grandkids and help other upcoming, you know, adolescents and youth. You know, I want to be a mentor, you know what I mean? And I thought about it because I tried, fam. You know, I got 3 kids, fam. I got 3 kids by 3 different women. You know, my first, you know, I was young, you know, and you know how that go. Her mother was a few years older than me as well. And so that was a situation where, you know, I was moving too fast. And it is what it is. But I got out and took care of my responsibilities. And then, you know, my second daughter, you know, I was there for her, you know, cut the cord and everything. But I was in the room, you know, I wanted her. And my son, you know, to be honest with you, you know, like it wasn't expected. Like I didn't know I got her pregnant. We had already separated. I went my way. I thought the relationship was over. I'm moving on with my life because I wasn't really trying to do that. And then 3 months so down the line, 2-3 months down the line, you know, I get a call, and life went on from there. And I think about, you know, all of this to just think about where I'm at right now, family, just to say that, you know, I literally was like, nah, you know, I was born in a situation where I had no complete guidance of what was going on, you know what I mean? And I just felt like, honestly, you know, if I have some more kids, like, how can I even think about having another one when I'm still trying to figure out how to treat the 3 that I got. I want to be the best I can be to figure that out. Like, you know, me having my kids, I love them to death, fam, but at times, you know, it has been more torment, I would say, because of me not being able to see them, you know, even though, you know, you take care of them, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, I'm good, fam. But, you know, I love my babies, man, and all I want to do is, you know, see them grown and well and doing good, man. And that's where I'm at in life now. Like I say, I just want to help them and be a mentor, you know, do all I can for those who was like me. You know what I mean? Because I know it's many young black boys out there, you know, young boys out there in inner cities that just ain't got a clue. You know, ain't got a clue, fam. So if I can do nothing but lead by example and just let them know, hey, if you can come from the gutter and you can do something with yourself, but you got to want to do it. And you're going to have to go by yourself. You're going to have to walk by yourself. You're going to have to make up your own mind and say, you know what, I want better, you know. And I always tell people, you know, coming from where we come from, you know, we hold flags. Everybody got a different flag. And I'm like, hey, man, carry your flag. Ain't nothing wrong with representing where you from, bro. But it's time to grow up, though. You know, it's time for us to be, okay, this is where I'm from. This is where I'm going. You know, I think that we got to remember where we from. We can't be on that same stuff, but ain't nothing wrong with embracing where you from. That's where you from. You know what I mean? But we have to grow up and say, you know what, now it's time to leave where I'm from so I can find where I'm going. And that journey right there, you're going to be by yourself 9 times out of 10, fam. A lot of times we be walking alone. Oh, none. I ain't gained no weight. I ain't gained no weight. And I haven't ate no cake. You know what I mean? I actually, uh, to be honest with you, I haven't been able to attend none of them. You know, they've been having, they've been having their birthdays along. My son had his. I talked to him last night. Um, my oldest daughter had hers and did her thing. I wasn't able to go up there where she stayed at. So everybody's like in different corners of different corners of the world right now. But I'm really hoping that, you know what I'm saying, one day soon, you know what I mean, we'll all get together when it's not a funeral, you know, like the family reunion, fam. I am so thankful that we did that because I got a chance to see everybody that I wanted to see, and especially our immediate family. And got a chance to see my aunt there. I never forget, you know, seeing her smile and have a HogOn shirt on with, you know, Oaks family reunion on it. It was cool, fam. You know, it was cool that we was able to do that. You know, now we coming together, you know what I mean, to put her to rest. And fam, you know, I had told the family too, you know, that uh, I had told my cousin and made a statement on one of my other cousins' Facebook page that, you know, that I was there, you know, when the coroner, you know, came and left. And, you know, I wasn't going to be at the funeral. Like, I'm not going to any more funerals, family. I'm done. I'm not going to any more funerals. Now, I'm not saying I won't be going to be around the family and support them and, you know, and help. Like, I'm going to go. My goal is to be there to help set the tables and do everything that need to be done so that way it'll be ready when the people get out of the church. You know, I'm going to be there helping them do that, serving. You know, I just want to serve. I want to help. I just want to serve. I don't want to go. I don't want to view the bodies anymore. Like, I want to remember people the way they was. And to be honest with you, fam, like, when it's my time, fam, you know, I'm not having no funeral. I'm not getting buried in the ground. I'm getting cremated, put in the bottle, and getting put up somewhere or get put, you know, or go to the East Coast Ocean is actually what I want to do. You know what I mean? So either my ashes gonna go to the east, or my kids gonna tend to pass me around in a jar, you know, till they get tired of it. But I'm not going in the ground, that's for sure. And I'm not gonna spend no money with no funeral homes. I'm not doing that. I'm giving whatever I got to my kids and my grandbabies, and 20% of the rest of it is going towards a black outreach program. Is what I want to do with mine. You know, I want to be able to help someone and keep it going. And I just feel like life goes on. I'm not wasting no time like that. You know, I just feel like, you know, I want to have like a reception or something. And that's it. You know what I mean? Have a reception, remember me, and everybody remember they, you know, how they time, say they stories, whatnot, listen to, you know, some music, listen to, you know, a video clip, because I took so many photos that I had posted throughout my life. Like I was thinking about that on my Facebook, how I'm gonna keep it open so my daughter can get all of that, because I post so much of change that, you know, when my time is finally gone, I can have so many photos just to show a straight metamorphosis from how I started to how it ended. You know what I mean? And that's it, fam. You know, I want to keep the movement alive. You know what I mean? Keep the movement alive, man. You know, that somebody came from nothing. And because I don't know how long we got, fam. We don't know how long we got. So I don't like to, you know, I think it's unwise for us not to prepare for our future, man. So if you haven't made a little will or haven't got your business in order, go on do that. No matter how old you is, if you got an opportunity to get you some life insurance, make sure you good, where nobody got to do no GoFundMe or nothing like that. You know, take care of yourself, man. You know, so, you know, don't leave the burden on someone else. You should be able to pass on and bless someone else, not be a burden and have them figure out where they want to put you at or how they gonna put you there. You know what I mean? So let's be wise about that, fam. I missed that comment. I'm gonna check out what you said. Sometimes I sit outside while the funeral was going on. Put what in writing? What part you talking about? What I say I need to put in writing so I can quote that again for me. But yeah, fam, I ain't going. You know what I mean? But I will be always support the fam. But as far as seeing bodies doing that, I'm done. I'm done with I'm done with all that, fam. Life goes on. I want to support, but I don't want to waste that time, you know, doing that. You know, my belief system is different. So I let those who believe what they believe. And like I say, there's many ways to support the fam. I would rather be in the back serving them, fixing up the tables, serving food, taking out the trash, whatever I need to do. But I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that to those who, you know, want to be dedicated to that. But I'm just not on that, man. I'm done seeing that. I'm done putting my mind and my heart through that grief. Like, nah, you know. I remember, you know, when the coroner was leaving, he asked if anyone wanted to view the body one last time, you know, before they took it away. And a few of us, you know, a few of them did, but I didn't. A few of us didn't. Like, nah, we good. You know, I'm good. I remember how she was at the family reunion, the smile on her face. I remember the last time I seen her, and my kids got a chance to take some pictures with her. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how I wanted. You know, that's how I wanted to be. You know what I mean? You know, let the doctors or whatever, whoever do the exam and let that be. But, you know, life goes on, fam. You know what I mean? So this rising, I'm really got so much on my mind and just on the grind, fam. And I was just thinking, you know, I go if I have to go by myself, no matter what the situation is. You know, building the future, starting this business, having to regroup. Sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board several times before you get it right. And you have to network. You know, I love to say proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, because it is so real, fam. If we don't prepare, we're going to perform piss poorly. So we have to be able to prepare, fam. Just wanted to say, like I say, I've been working on a few things, and things just been slow here lately. You know how sometimes, you know, we'll get caught up and we'll say, man, I wish things were faster. Or I wish, you know, I could really get the ball going. And then we have to realize that, well, maybe it's a season to enjoy the things, the fruit of your labor. You know, sometimes we get so busy working, trying to figure it out, that we never enjoy that calm time. Sometimes, fam, when you get those still moments, just enjoy it. Enjoy the time where you don't have nothing to do. Just enjoy it. Because the time will come, you're going to be busy again. You're going to be on the grind. So, you know, we have to keep that in mind. Because when you're in your journey, you know, I heard my aunt said, I'm not going to say I'm tired, because I'm not tired. But sometimes, you know, you get exhausted and you need to rest a little bit. You need to regroup. So when you're on your journey, you know, we're going to face things, fam, that's going to throw us for a loop. It's going to come out of nowhere, you know. Loved ones, family members, friends, as always, you know, the enemy can't hurt you unless he's close to you. I've always learned that. Someone you keep from a distance, you ain't worried about them hurting your feelings because you keep them way over there. It's always someone that's real close to you that'll poke you or stab you, you know. So on this journey to walk along, fam, it's gonna get difficult at times, fam, but we can do it though. I just wanted to say that this rising, that no matter what your journey is, where you going, where you trying to take your life, your career, your business, you're going to have to be willing to do it by yourself. You're going to have to be willing to just get started. Eventually, all the things you need is going to come together, you know. It's going to come together because when God made man, he made man alone at first. Said everything was good, but it wasn't good that man was left alone. So he put the man to sleep, and he created a woman from the man. So when you doing your thing, fam, God don't want us alone, but he have to do certain things with us alone to get our attention, so that way we can do what he need us to do. And then he gonna make sure he brings somebody to help you keep the mission going. Y'all be blessed. HogOn.